Welcome back to Gunsmith Part 6. Today we are looking at the AKM. Here is my completed build if you want a reference. Now the hardest part about this one is this guy, the Fortis Shift Tactical Foregrip. You have to have this or you can't complete the build. Unfortunately, they are like gold dust early on in the wipe. If you go to the flea market, there probably won't be any at all, and it's a Peacekeeper 4 attachment. So how do we get this other than getting lucky in raid? We go into traders, we go to mechanic, we go to mechanic 1, we go into the barters, and there's one on this build here, the MPX MQB, and you can see it there just in the little details down here. Fortis Shift Tactical Grip, you can see it on there as well. So you're going to have to go and collect 5 DVDs, 5 UV lamps, and 2 weapon parts. So I hope you've been hoarding. Once you've got this piece secured, we're going to head over to Prapor level 2 and go into weapons. We're going to take his AKM. You could also technically do the barter to get an AKM as well with the 2 shonkers. So once we're in here, we're going to have to grab a suppressor. The easiest one to get is usually this one, the Rotor 43762x39 sound suppressor, because this one can be bartered for 2 magnets. So this one isn't too bad. I'm going to put that one on here. Now we've got to find a handguard to fit our Fortis Shift Grip 2. Now usually what I do here is I right click and do a link search because we're well within the recoil, so what we need is something with good ergonomics. So we scroll into the different parts, into handguards, and we just look down and see something that's pretty good. Now the ones that I usually look for are these. If you have Peacekeeper 2, you can already buy this, the MOE AKM handguard in FDE, but these ones have got plus 10 ergo, and it's the one that we want to use for this build, but there's lots of different colours. It means people usually put them up on the flea market. If you see one of these Zhukovs instead, that will actually do as well, because that's got 14 ergo. These are technically even better, so you could use one of those if you want. So what I'll usually do is just scroll through until I find one. So here's an FDE version. So whichever you find first, maybe one of these MOE AKMs or one of these Zhukovs in plum, depending on what you want to do. And what we'll do then is we'll go and stick on whichever version you manage to find. So the MOE and AKM, this is the one that I've used for my build. Underneath that, we then use the M-Lock 4.1 inch rail. This just comes from Mechanic 1. And onto that, we attach the shift grip, which we got from the build on Mechanic. Now we just need to fix the other parts of the gun. So we take off the rear sight. This allows us to attach a Bastion rail, which I'm going to put on there. And then on top of this, we need something with 800 sighting range. I usually use this, the Romeo 7, because this one technically has 800, so it fulfills the quest. Now we need to change over the magazine to the one that's asked for in the mission, which is this one, the Magpul PMag 30 Gen M3 30 round mag. So I'll add that. And then we've just got a couple more bits to do. We've got Mechanic 2's saw pistol grip. You can actually get these on the flea as well if you want. And then from Skier, you can attach the PT AKM lock. Make sure it's this right one, otherwise it won't go on. And then the other part you need is the PT1, which also comes from Skier 2. Once you put those things together, you should be able to select it on your gun. And I can't actually build it because it's exactly the same as the one that I have in my stash. So we're going to go and hand this guy over into Mechanic. Now, the only other thing that I would say is that if you have Ref, you can actually do this very easily on Ref 1 as well. There's an AKM here. If you do the edit build there, you can literally just take, you still need the Fortis Shift, so you need to go and get that from the build that we looked at over on the Mechanic 1. But you can take off the ring mount here, and you can swap this over to a suppressor there. And this build will actually work as well if you're feeling a bit lazy and you have spare GP coins from Arena. But I think doing it the regular way is probably the easier way to do it anyway. Save your GP coins for something more useful. So there, we're going to turn it in, and we're going to get on to the next one.